Hey guys, what is up and welcome to my channel. It's a Hardback Life. My name is Jordan and today we're going to be talking about the main goal that I set for myself in 2020, which was to read 10 series in total. At least finish 10 series. Now I've read only 4 and finished them. And I'm going to show you what those are briefly in just a second. I want to touch on the books that I have read so far in November. And they are Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, Full Moon by Jim Butcher, the second book in the Dresden Files series, Grave Peril, the third book in the Dresden Files series, and What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. These 4 books are very, very unique and different in their own right. Them are obviously part of a adult fantasy series. One of them is a young adult murder mystery, dark academia type book. And then the other one is a YA contemporary with LGBTQ plus representation. And I have thoroughly enjoyed my reading month so far. I will say, out of the 4, my least favorite of the books was Full Moon, which is the second book in the Dresden Files series. I really enjoyed the first book, Stormfront. Like, it was a strong opener. And then the second book, I feel like, had a little bit of a lack. I don't know, it was missing something. It's probably, the whole book was mainly about werewolves. That was the main creature in this second book. And I'm not a huge fan of werewolves in general. But yeah, I feel like there's just so much that was missing from this book, I feel like, and also a lot of stuff that could have been taken out as well. I don't know, overall, I gave this book 3 stars. And just, so far, the Dresden Files that I've read, this is my least favorite. And also, this book, oh my god, I can understand why a lot of people said this is where the series really gets going. This book was epic. This is the third book in the Dresden Files series. Oh my god. I loved every minute of this book. And then What If It's Us? I just finished yesterday. I thought it was pretty good. Very, like, a lot of cute moments. I gave this book 4 stars because, I mean, I just loved all the pop culture references. Now, the ending left a lot to be desired, but I still enjoyed this book, and I just found out, actually, within the last couple days that Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli are teaming up again to write the sequel to this book called Here's to Us. So it's no longer going to be a standalone. So that makes sense for the ending. And Hand on the Wall, which is the conclusion to the Truly Devious series, I thought was a solid book. There was a lot of cliche moments, not just in this book, but throughout the series. But I still really enjoyed it. And now on to series that I have finished. First series that I finished in 2020. I almost said 2021 for some reason. First series that I finished in 2020 was none other than Marie Lu's duology called Warcross. Warcross is about a girl named Amika Chen who lives in New York City. She is living, I guess this is set like 10 years into the future, where like virtual reality is like really a huge thing. Speaking of virtual reality, the game Warcross is a game is virtual reality. Um, it's like Capture the Flag, and our main character Mika Chen, she decides to glitch herself into the game and try to steal an artifact that would, like, if she sold it, would help her and her roommate pay off their debts and, like, obviously pay off their rent and be able to live there longer. But she gets caught by the many viewers who are watching the game and the players themselves. And the creator of the game flies her down to Tokyo, and her main job is to find out who's been doing some illegal dealings in the Warcross, within the Warcross games. And it turns out there's a whole much bigger mess of things happening in this series. And like I said, this is a duology. This is the first one, Warcross, and then Wildcard is on my shelf. I just didn't feel like getting it. But this series is definitely worth it. I love the characters. Love the game Warcross. It's so much fun to read about. And this is definitely one I highly recommend you pick up. It is Warcross by Marie Lu. Oh, and I finished that in March. I'm sorry if I didn't say that before. The next series that I finished in 2020 was one of my childhood favorites, and that is Artemis Fowl. Artemis Fowl is about a 12-year-old criminal mastermind / genius whose father disappears. He's disappeared at the beginning of this book. And so Artemis is having to take over the family business. And he's very capable. Like I said, he's a genius. So he's very intelligent and able to do these kinds of things. But in this book, Artemis decides to try and make a little bit more money. So he discovers the world of fairies. And he plans on stealing their gold. And so what he does is he decides he and his butler, decide to try and trap a fairy, which they are successful at. And obviously they have a plan set in motion to get her fairy friends to come rescue her. And they have to drive a bargain to with their gold. And anyway, it's a whole chaotic battle between Artemis and his bodyguard and the fairies. And it's such a fun book series that spans over 8 books. And it becomes much bigger than what the first book is, because the fairy world and the human world collide many times throughout the series. And Artemis, followed by Captain Holly Short, which is the fairy he captures, end up teaming up multiple times and having to stop rogue fairies or other creatures from taking over the world. It's a lot of fun. I put it in league with Harry Potter because it's that epic. I completed the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo last month. And this is about a ragtag band of misfits, basically, who come together and they have to commit a heist. They have to break a person out of this highly secured prison, and it's just fantastic. The character work is one of the main reasons I love this series, and this series is beloved by a lot of people. Like I said, it's very character driven, and I really enjoy that. I am a huge fan of Leigh Bardugo now because of this series, and I can't wait to dive into her work more. Anyway, our main characters are Kaz Brecker and Inej Gaffa, Matthias Helvar, Nina Zenik, Jasper Fahey, and Wyland Van Eck. And they all have different sets of skills, which helps them in this heist. And it's so fun to read, and also very emotional at times. Yeah, I cried during Crooked Kingdom, which is the second and final book. I will not tell you why, but if you've read this series, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is Six of Crows. I completed the duology last month. Oh, and by the way, if I didn't say it before, Artemis Fowl is written by Owen Colfer. I should have said that. And the most recent series that I have just completed was none other than the Truly Devious trilogy by Maureen Johnson. Truly Devious, I kind of talked about it earlier because I had just finished the final book. Truly Devious is a dark academia book, which is an murder mystery YA series, which is set in Vermont. Our main character, Stephanie Bell, aka Stevie Bell, to this private school called Ellingham Academy. And Ellingham Academy, by the way, takes the best and the brightest students. And she goes to the school with the intent of solving the kidnapping / murders that happened in the 1930s. That's what the school is known for, or well, mostly famous for. The headmaster from the 1930s, his wife and daughter were both kidnapped and murdered, and a student was also murdered because she was basically in the wrong place at the wrong time. And which those aren't spoilers, by the way. That's the premise of the book. Is like our main character Stevie Bell goes to this school to solve this crime, the crimes that happened many years ago to these 3 victims, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But this series was fantastic. I loved it. And an interesting spin on murder mystery. And obviously there were some cliche murder mystery type moments. But, I still really enjoyed it. And I love the color scheme of these books, by the way. Fantastic. So yeah, those were the 4 series that I completed. And to continue on the train of completing series, like I said, I want to read 10 series in total. If that happens, awesome. If it doesn't, I'm okay with that too, because I tried. But to continue on with that train, I am going to be reading Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Percy Jackson and the Olympians is another middle grade, like Artemis Fowl, but it's about Greek mythology. Our main character is a 12-year-old who finds out that he is the son of a Greek god, Poseidon. And obviously, Poseidon is the god of water and god of the sea, and which Poseidon's also my favorite mythological god. So it was a win-win when I heard about this. And also, guys, this is an interesting thing for me because I didn't know this was a book series until after I saw the movie. And I thoroughly enjoyed the movie the first time it came out. And then one of my friends told me that it was a book series. And then I was like, wait, what? How did I not know this? And I immediately went back and read the book. And then that just made my hopes, that just made my love for the movie come crashing down. Because I loved this book. It was so good. And there were so many missing elements from the movie that were, they just did not take full advantage of when filming the movie. So, yeah. But yeah, I plan on reading this again. Oh, and if you're curious, the first time I read this series, I read this one, the first book, which was Lightning Thief. Second book, Sea of Monsters. Didn't really care for this one that much. And then I read Titan's Curse all the way through. I read the first 3 books all the way through. And then I got to Battle of the Labyrinth, or is it? Yeah, Battle of the Labyrinth. I DNF'd it after I read this, while reading this book. I don't remember what it was that I didn't like about this book, but I think it was about 150 pages in, and I put it down. I was like, nope. And so I haven't finished the series. Don't get mad at me. I know this series is very well loved and beloved, but I don't know, something about Battle of the Labyrinth that just didn't sit well with me. So I just put it down. But I promised myself that I would come back to the series and eventually finish it. So that's what I'm going to do now. And so I'm going to read all 5 books. And if you're wondering what that is, that's a Goodwill sticker. I recently rebought it. So, yeah. I really want to reread the series. In fact, I've already started and love it. I know, like I said, it's very well loved. But I mean, if I don't end up loving this series like a lot of people do, you know what? That's fine. I'll still keep these because honestly, there's other series that Rick Riordan wrote that are like connected to these, so I really want to get to. And the last series that I want to talk about in here that I'm planning on rereading like immediately. Well, I have been rereading it throughout the year, and that is Twilight. I know what you're thinking, but I've said it many times throughout a lot of my videos. I've been doing a Twilight reread because I just wanted to see what my opinion would be like the next time I read it. And so this is my second time through reading this book series. And I have to say, I haven't hated my time reading it. I will say it's not my favorite still. There's so many problems with this book series. And also there are so many cringy moments. But I've found out one thing. New Moon is now my favorite book in this series. I thought it was originally Eclipse, but New Moon. New Moon is the best book in this series. And there's something that happens in this book, I'm not going to say it, that just really, really frustrates me. And if you know what I'm talking about, comment down below. Just to see if you can get it right, and then I will say yes or no. But yeah, oh my gosh. Breaking Dawn. I'm gonna start reading that today on audiobook. and hopefully finish it by the end of the month, so that I can say that I've read the Twilight series again for the second time, and I probably won't ever touch it again, at least for a while, if ever. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind on that. But this is like I said, this is my second time reading through this series. And this will be the fifth series fourth or fifth, depending on how fast I finish before Percy Jackson. But this book, I didn't realize it was 700 and something pages. It's like 756 pages. 756 unnecessary pages of length. But you know what? Like I said, I'm going to read through it and get it done. Anyway, you guys, that's my at least the series plans. At least the series reading plans that I hope to finish in the next week or so. And I will let you know. But be looking for my video, which is going to be talked about the Reindeer Games Readathon, which was created by Eric from Breakevenbooks. I'll link his channel down below of the video where he talks about it. And yeah. Oh, and also be looking for my Truly Devious review of the whole entire trilogy, and then also my thoughts on the Dresden Files so far, because I've read the first 3 books. I have loved my journey with this series, and I really hope you guys are gonna pick it up, because I definitely recommend the series. Jim Butcher's writing is very accessible. Jim Butcher is a fantastic adult fantasy writer, and I love his books. I have another series by him on my bookshelf that I want to get to as well next year. So, fingers crossed that I can do. I can't even cross my fingers well. But yeah, fingers crossed that or if you like this video, please like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Anyway, you guys, have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna go get ready for work. Bye.